And here we go. Bailey was defeated by Nia Jax, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Rhea Ripley will be fighting Nia Jax once again, this time at Saturday Night's Main Event. Presumably for the championship, but that wasn't announced. As we get back to actual wrestling and what people want to see, we got the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne coming out to face Penta in what will be a barn burner match. Both of these men capable of putting on great matches. I mean, Pete Dunne, you look at the matches against Gunther, formerly known as Walter in NXT, against Tyler Bate. I mean, if you guys have seen those, you know this man is capable of putting on great matches. And then Penta, you just need to look to last week when he put on a hell of a match against Chad Gable in his debut on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So we're going to see who comes out on top in this match. Let's see what Pete Dunne has to say. Oh, he's still with that. Pete Dunne is tired of being called Butch. Don't call him Butch. Wow.
I'm the Bruiserweight. I'm the best pound-for-pound wrestler in this company. And you
pound for pound, huh?
To disrespect me.
Well, Pete Dunne's had enough of the disrespect. You know, it's crazy to think that this man is to the heights that he reached in 2018, 2019, 2017 was at. You come in at 2025 and this is where he is. Talking about, don't call me Butch, call me Pete Dunne. Like, it's crazy, dude. It's just, it amazes me sometimes how this company pushes people that, you know, they've been pushed so many times, or we've seen this show before and they don't do much, and they leave people like Pete Dunne out of the mix, or, you know, instead of Nia Jax fighting against, you know, Rhea for the 100th time, we could see, you know, somebody like Kairi Sane or Dakota Kai or Zelina Vega put on, you know, something new with Rhea Ripley. And I'm not talking about just fighting Rhea Ripley before. I'm talking about putting them in a storyline that gives a new look to Rhea Ripley and the, you know, the characters and wrestlers that I just named. Like, why are we running the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? See, the way, like, Penta's being booked right now, like, that's how people of the skill and caliber that he has, that's how they should be booked. New opponents every week, building them up, instead of just being, you know, stored in the back and stuff, and just, you know, left to waste. And that's what it is. It's a waste. There's so much talent, and yet we keep seeing the same people over and over and over and over again. I'm so excited for WrestleMania, guys. That is going to be electric. I wonder if they can top 40, honestly, because 40 was crazy. 39 for me was crazy because I was there. And they had great matches as well, but we'll see how 41 plays out.
I know, man. I heard you out there. I respect it. It's about time for that Sami Zayn to show up. And you know what? I'm almost rooting for that Sami Zayn.
Seth Rollins is giving props to Sami for the speech that he made earlier, telling him that, you know, we've been waiting for this Sami Zayn, this Sami Zayn that's not afraid of a fight, not afraid to achieve greatness and win that Royal Rumble. You know, these two have mutual respect for each other, despite Sami Zayn going back to the bloodline. Wow, Karrion Kross is watching Seth Rollins from behind, and Seth has no idea. That was creepy right there. You know, because Seth wants to win the Royal Rumble, and Seth has been on the skid since, you know, losing the world title. And honestly, his world championship reign wasn't even all that, because I almost skip on it in memory. Because I was going to say, from 2020 to now, he hasn't really done much. He's lost a lot of key matches. He lost to Cody Rhodes 3 times. he wasn't able to beat Roman Reigns for the championship. He lost to Drew McIntyre for the championship. He was trying to defend it. He lost. So, I mean, it seems like WWE doesn't really see Seth Rollins delivering anything new. Cero miedo. I mean, that's what Penta is about. His theme song, his mask, his entrance, that's crazy with he's got this crazy firework action going on behind him. This guy is really charismatic, man. Everybody's into this man right now. And he's cool. You know, I mean, you've seen his work in AEW and other places, Lucha Underground. He really is a great wrestler, but I don't think he's ever found his, like, character, you know, outside of, like, the last maybe year. But it just seems like WWE gives you that rub where you come out here and your character, because that's what WWE is about. That's what separates WWE from everybody else. It's not just about the wrestling, but they also put a huge emphasis on the character, because Triple H's philosophy is, and he said it in press conferences, if you want people to care about the moves, they have to care about the characters. So we create great characters that people can relate to and like, and that's exactly what they're doing with Penta. So as you two get ready to square off, everybody cuts off Penta when he's about to do the Cero Miedo. So these two trading chops, exchanging slaps to the chest, elbows to the faces, back and forth here. It's going out to an all-out brawl already in the middle of the ring. Headlock by Pete Dunne. Trying to settle down Penta. Penta, Irish whips Pete Dunne. Goes over him. Super kick to the midsection from Penta to Pete Dunne. And Penta feeling himself, getting in that groove. But Pete Dunne is not going to tolerate any of that. Knocking down Penta with a forearm to the head. Here we go. Pete Dunne, who's known for manipulation of the bones, breaking, trying to pull apart the fingers. Oh man, stomping on the elbow of Penta. And that's what he does, muscle manipulation, bone manipulation. This guy will rip your bone off your tendon without a second's hesitation, man. This is a bruiserweight style, man. The very English, rough, in-your-face style. Enziguri in the corner from Penta to Pete Dunne. Here we go. Pete Dunne returns the favor. Pete Dunne looking to win this. Pete Dunne needs, you know, momentum, man. Ever since he's dropped the Butch name and separated from Sheamus, he hasn't done much. Penta kicked Pete Dunne in the midsection, mid-air, as he was coming off the top turnbuckle. That was crazy. Cero miedo. As he goes for that move, caught. He was going for that suicide dive, but that elbow strike caught him in between the ropes. Pete Dunne, money clip on the apron. That hurts. Penta looks like he's in serious trouble here. That really hurt. You can see the pain on his face. Pete Dunne mocking the crowd. He wants the crowd to get loud for the beating that he's putting on Penta. Both men outside of the ring now. Pete Dunne setting up Penta's hand on top of the stairs. Stomps on it. Right foot to right hand right there. Throwing Penta into the ring. Pete Dunne rolling up into the middle of the ring here. Again, with that muscle manipulation. Now messing with the fingers again, bending back the pinky, the index finger, the middle finger now. Twisting that arm as he sits on Penta's back. Now he's manipulating the wrist. Oh, shins to arm right there. And Penta is in trouble. You know, that high-flying style, it's not going to work if Pete Dunne breaks all the bones in Penta's body. That I can tell you. So Penta needs to find a new strategy here. Yes, fly, but first off, separate yourself. from Pete Dunne. Penta needs to pick up the pace here if he wants to win this match. Irish whip. Pete Dunne. Caught. Kick to the face by Penta to Pete Dunne. Clothesline to Penta from Pete Dunne. And again, settling that fire within Penta is Pete Dunne. Grounding him. This is what Pete Dunne is notorious for. That slow, methodical pace. Punishing your opponent. He's tied Penta's mass traps on the rope. He's kicking him in the chest and the face. It came undone by itself, but damage is done there. Wow. Yeah, he could use some knot tying lessons, that's true. But it works out, you know. You don't want the guy's mask really getting caught in the rope because that would really cause a problem mid-match here. Here we go, that bone manipulation again. Shins to the left arm of Penta again. Manipulating that pinky, bending it backwards. Elbow digging deep in the shoulder here. Penta reaches the rope, so Pete has to let go. By the count of 5, stomps again on his left hand. He's in pain right now. He's in trouble. Pete Dunne picking up Penta once again. Chop across that chest. You know, because Pete Dunne needs really to get a big win to propel himself, to separate himself from the rest of the guys in the locker room. So let's see if he can do it. Oh, elbow strike. Right across the face of Penta. Pete Dunne continues to mock the crowd, saying to get his name right. Again, another running elbow strike across the face of Penta from Pete Dunne. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that Penta's going to have to go through here, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of elite wrestlers that are here in WWE. Everybody, I don't care what level they are, whether they're lower card, which is jobbers, or the mid card, especially the mid card to the main event status. There's a bunch of talent, and they're going to attack you in 50 different ways. But Penta, getting back his momentum, doing a headstand on the top rope here, comes down, puts 2 feet to Pete Dunne's midsection. Sorry to say Pete Dunne and Penta all the time. Penta with a slam. Goes for a pin on Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne kicks out at 2. He drove Pete Dunne's upper back into that mat. That was crazy. But this is a great match, and this is what Penta is known for. And I'm glad Triple H is letting him, you know, show off his skills, because a lot of times guys come in and, you know, they're facing off against these jobbers, the people from the hometown. You know, you never know who they are, what their names are, instead of actually putting them in the ring with people who can actually wrestle and that are mainstays and on the main roster. Penta, you know, is very fortunate, and I'm glad. Super kick from Penta to Pete Dunne, that he's got to face somebody like Chad Gable and now Pete Dunne. Oh! The Mexican Destroyer, man. That move every time. Spiked. Spiked like a railroad spike right there. Just nailed. Now Penta's, you know, fixing his hands, getting ready to go. Over the top rope with it. Bam. Connects, and Pete Dunne and Penta are both spent. Both men hurt, both men tired. Let's see who's going to want it more, but so far, man, it's been back and forth. Penta's showing what he can do. Pete Dunne for sure showing what he can do. Pete Dunne's back in the ring first. We're still awaiting Penta. Penta firing himself up. Coming in, we're at a count of 7 here. In comes Penta. Back in the squared circle are these 2 men. Going for another Mexican Destroyer, but that's not going to happen. Caught by Pete Dunne and planted. Kick out at 2.5 from Penta. He tried to go for the Mexican Destroyer, caught him mid-move, and slammed him on the top of his head. There's gonna be a lot of good reversals, a lot of good a lot of good spots here in this match, as there have been already. Really nice action here. This is the kind of matches that we need on Monday Night Raw. Because like a lot of times you feel like these matches, some of them, not all of them, they're kind of mediocre. They could have done a little bit better, but no, these guys, they're showing up and showing out, and that's what they do. Allowing two elite class wrestlers to show their skills. Cero Miedo from Penta, but again, Pete Dunne catches him. Manipulating those fingers, has him in the triangle now. Triangle choke on Penta, applied by Pete Dunne. Penta's gonna have to, he's picking him up. And powerbomb into a backbreaker. Knee to the spine. Pete Dunne is really writhing in pain right there. Oh, here we go. Working that back. Grabbing that right arm. Cero Miedo. Snapping that right shoulder. Every time, dude, that you see that, you think the guy's shoulder's going to come out of socket. Pete Dunne is all hurt. He's shaking from the pain. Penta driver connected, and this match is done. Penta improves his record to 2-0 after a match with Pete Dunne. This guy is showing up and showing out. Amazing performance, showing with the WWE Universe what he can do, and he's doing it with the greatest of ease. Awesome, man. I mean, if he keeps this kind of action up and he gets his character in line, he can easily become an Intercontinental Champion. So we'll see where he goes, but week by week, he's impressing fans, he's selling merchandise, and that's what you want to see out of a new acquisition. On to the next one.